All praises to Ahia and Ahia alone. For Ahia alone is our master, alone is our savior, alone is our redeemer, and alone is our king, Yada Hayah. This is Brother Holly with the second Word of Truth broadcast here on the Ahia House channel, as well as the House of Ahia channel on this set apart Sabbath day. Excuse me. First and foremost, as always, I'd like to give all glory, praise, and honor to Ahia and Ahia alone. For Ahia alone is our Savior, alone is our Master, alone is our Redeemer, alone is our King. He alone is our Avenger. And He will bring forth vengeance upon our enemies, Yada Hayah. We'll be reading from the Hebrew Yahshua Scriptures, Paleo Edition. And, brethren, we're going to get right into it. We're going to be reading from the book of Deuteronomy. Mainly. And we're just going to be reading excerpts. As you know, those of you who've been here for a while know that I read a lot of verses to keep things in context, because the main thing that happens all the time when you say something, that even if you're reading something from the scriptures that goes against what most people believe or teach, they say you took that out of context. No, we're just going to read what the book says. And we're going to put like subject matters together. For Deuteronomy 28, 29, 30, 31, and 32 says a lot, but it's scattered what it says. So we're going to read what it says about vengeance being upon our enemies, the curse being put on them and taken off us, and how Ahia is going to bring it about speedily. All praises. Turn me to Deuteronomy chapter 30. Let's start reading at verse 1. And it shall come to pass, Deuteronomy 30, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, when all these things are come upon you, the blessing and the curse, which I have set before you, and you shall call them to mind among the Gentiles, whither Ahia your almighty Hayah has driven you. So this is something we're supposed to think on when we're in a situation like we're in right now, or we're scattered amongst these heathen. This is something for us to think on when we're in a scattered state like we are today. We're to understand it. Gnats. Can't stand them. Anyway, we're to understand that these things are going to happen while we're in our scattered state. Toward the end. It says in Deuteronomy 32, if we only understood our latter end. I'm trying to shine some illumination on our latter end, which we're in today. These are the last days, children. So let's hear about it. And verse 2, Deuteronomy 30 and 2, and shall return unto Ahia your almighty Hayah, and shall obey his voice, according to all that command you this day, you and your children with all your heart and with all your soul. And then Ahia your almighty Hayah will turn your captivity and have compassion upon you, underline, and will return and gather you from all the nations, whether Ahia your almighty Hayah has scattered you. So Ahia himself's going to come back and gather us. He ain't sending some emissary. He ain't sending, no, he coming himself. It says right here he coming. Ahia's going to come gather us from the four corners of the earth, all praises. So you can forget all that nonsense over in the book of nonsense called the New Testament. Forget it. All the things that the New Testament promised you have already been promised in the Old Testament. Every last one of them. Salvation, deliverance from the end, everything. But we get additional promises in the original of the Old Testament that you never hear about in the New. You don't hear about nowhere in the New Testament talks about the regathering of the 12 tribes of Jacob, for example. Nowhere. Oh yeah, there may be an allusion to it. It's talking about gathering the elect, but you got to know a whole lot to understand that that's talking about the 12 tribes of Jacob. And it isn't clear who is said about. But why is there so much clarity in the original Testament or in the Tanakh? It tell you plainly who he's talking about. He's talking about the people he brought out of Egypt. All praises. I'll read it again, Deuteronomy 30:3. And then Ahijah, your Almighty Hayah, will turn your captivity and have compassion upon you and return and gather you from all the nations where the Ahijah, your Almighty Hayah, has scattered you. If any of you be driven out unto the uttermost parts of heaven, from there will Ahijah, your Almighty Hayah, gather you, and from there will he fetch you. And Ahijah, your Almighty Hayah, will bring you into the land which your fathers possessed, and you shall possess it, and he will do you good and multiply you above your fathers. So here the greater works coming. They're coming when we come back, when we regather. He's going to multiply us. We're going to be more numerous than we ever have been. He's going to keep his word he made to Abraham. He's going to keep his word he made to Isaac. He's going to keep his word he made to Jacob. He ain't going to let none of them promises fall. And one of those promises, we'll be more numerous than the stars of heaven and more numerous than the sand of the sea. All praises. Verse 6, Deuteronomy 30:6. And Ahijah, your Almighty Hayah, will circumcise your heart and the heart of your children, to love Ahijah, your Almighty Hayah, with all your heart, with all your soul, that you may live. And Ahijah, your Almighty Hayah, will put all these curses upon your enemies and on them that hate you and persecute you. Give me my first time out. There's teachings on this channel on reverse the curse. Though that teaching is talking about this very verse. All the curses, and we're going to read some of them, of Deuteronomy 28, are reversed and put on our enemies when we turn back to Ahijah. With all our minds, all our soul. That's the catalyst that reverses the curse. Children, as you well know, since 2019, there has been a return back to our Most High Power. Since 2019, millions of Hebrews of the house of Jacob have returned from Constantine Christianity. A vast majority of us are returning from Hebrew Christendom back to Ahijah and Ahijah alone. Back to our Most High Power and Him alone. The Torah only, Tanakh only community grows exponentially daily. And I'm praying right now that more and more of my brothers and sisters would cast that idol behind them like a woman would cast away her menstrual cloth. Will say what the children of Ephraim said in Hosea, I will not deal with idols anymore. Leave your idol shop alone and come back to Ahijah and see the curses removed from you. Because the curse is on you because of your idolatry. Let's be clear here. The sin of idolatry, having some other power besides Ahijah, is what got all of us in this mess to start with. Started with the golden calf, has been continuing ever since. We are always looking for somebody else to be our Savior, except our Savior Himself. But when we return to our Savior, with all our heart and all our soul, He circumcises our heart to keep His way. Then He said He going to put the curses on our enemies and on them that hate us and them that persecute us. Like I said in the first broadcast, I'm thankful that we're not the primary target, I should say, of their attacks these days. Not in America. They got some new folks to attack. And I'm thankful for that. But I ain't letting these heathens off the hook. Oh no, I'm tired of them, to be honest with you. I'm fed up with them. It's time for them to go. So we're going to read about their destruction right now. Suffice it to say, we now will understand why this is valid. It's valid. We have returned. Enough of us have returned to see the curses now be put on our enemies. All praises. And I dare say when the full blunt of this falls on the head of our enemies, when it becomes blatantly clear that they're being destroyed, that more of our people will return. And I hope that this broadcast is used as an impetus to cause that migration away from idolatry and falsehood back to the true and living Savior. Ahiah is his name. All praises. I'll read it again. Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 7. And Ahiah, your almighty Hayah, will put all these curses upon your enemies and on them that hate you and persecute you. Verse 8, and you shall return and obey the voice of Ahiah and do all his commandments which I command you this day. Do all the commandments. Don't miss a one. To include keeping the Sabbath. You knew who I'm talking to. Now let's turn over to Deuteronomy chapter 28. And let's read these curses. Now we learned in the first broadcast that since we've returned to Ahiah, we can decree a thing and it shall be established unto us. He told us in Isaiah to come and plead with him, to declare that we might be justified. To declare. We're going to make a declaration in a moment. We're going to declare that the curse has been reversed and that these curses are now upon those that hate us, those that persecute us, those that are our enemies, not only here in America, but around the world. So for all the heathen nations that oppose us in any way, if you ever did anything wrong against us, this is for you. Let's read it. Cursed shall our enemies be in the city. This is Deuteronomy 28:16. This is the proclamation that we're making today. Cursed shall our enemies be in the city, and cursed shall our enemies be in the field. Cursed shall be our enemies' basket and their store. Cursed shall be the fruit of their body and the fruit of their land, the increase of their kind and the flocks of their sheep. Cursed shall they be when they come in, and cursed shall our enemies be when they go out. Ahiah shall send upon our enemies cursing, vexation, and rebuke in all that they set their hand unto for to do, until they be destroyed, and until they perish quickly because of the wickedness of our enemies' doings, whereby they have forsaken the righteousness of Ahiah and his people. Verse 21, this is Deuteronomy 28:21. Ahiah shall make the pestilence cleave unto our enemies, until he have consumed our enemies from off the land, whether we go to possess it. Ahiah shall smite our enemies with the consumption, and with fever, and with inflammation, and with the extreme burning, and with the sword, and with blasting, and with mildew, and they shall pursue our enemies until they perish. The curse is upon them. We have returned. Now let's read the curse and proclaim with our mouth what is going to be for our enemies. Proclaim with me. Watch this over and over again. And proclaim these things. Read them yourself. And proclaim them. I invite you to come and plead with him. He said, put me in remembrance. I'm putting you in remembrance, Ahiah, of what you said. You said in Deuteronomy 30 that the curses will be upon our enemies. We're reading the curses now that are upon. All praises. Deuteronomy 28:22, Ahiah shall smite our enemies with the consumption, and with a fever, and with inflammation, and with extreme burning, and with the sword, and with blasting, and with mildew, and they shall pursue our enemies until they perish. And the heaven that is over the head of our enemies shall be copper, and the earth that is under our enemies shall be iron. I prayed this explicitly today for the leader of our enemies. You know who he is. I ain't got to mention his name. He's the leader of our enemies. I prayed this explicitly for him today. I'm definitely tired of him. I prayed that the heaven above his head be brass and the ground beneath his feet be iron, that his prayers no longer be heard. He opened his mouth. His prayers ain't being heard. That's part of the curse. Come on, let's read. I'll read it again. And the heaven that is over the head of our enemies shall be copper. This is Deuteronomy 28:23. And the earth that is under our enemies' feet shall be brass, shall be iron. Ahiah shall make the rain of our enemies' land powder and dust. From heaven shall it come down upon our enemies until they be destroyed. Verse 25, Deuteronomy 28:25. Ahiah shall cause our enemies to be smitten before our eyes. They shall go out one way against us and flee 7 ways from before us. And they shall be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. They're going to evacuate. And the carcasses of our enemies shall be meat for all the fowls of the air, and unto the beasts of the earth, and no man shall scare them away. Verse 27, Ahiah will smite our enemies with the blotch of Egypt, and with the inrods, and with the scab, and with the itch, whereof they, our enemies, cannot be healed. They will be given an incurable disease. No remedy. Like I said before, I'm tired of them. It's time for them to go. They made a wreck of this place. They made a wreck of the earth. They're going all over the earth, making a wreck of things, killing people for no reason, taking stuff from people. I'm tired of them. Let Ahiah's vengeance rain down. His righteous judgments prevail. He said in his word, we're to remind him, he said. He said these curses will be upon our enemies, and when we return, we have returned to Ahiah. Put the curses on them. Let's read. Let's declare the curses upon them. Oh, for all you who are shaking in your boots right now, because you hear your idol shot say, love your enemies. Pray for them. Look, listen. The curse is upon those who are my enemy. The curse is upon those who persecute me. The curse is upon those who oppose me. This is Ahiah's doing. This marvelous mind. That's what his word said. You can miss me with that foolishness. Deuteronomy 28:27 again. Ahiah will smite our enemies with the blotch of Egypt, and with the emerods, and with the scab, and with the itch, where they cannot be healed. Ahiah will smite our enemies with madness, and blindness, and astonishment of heart. And our enemies shall grope at noonday, as the blind gropes in the darkness. And our enemies shall not prosper in their ways, and our enemies shall not only be oppressed and be spoiled forevermore, and no man shall save them. They ain't got a savior. We're the only people on the earth that got a savior. Our enemies ain't got no savior. Ain't nobody coming for them. No. The only one who declared himself a savior said, I'm saving Jacob. Oh, praises. Turn over to Deuteronomy 32. I'm almost done. These are Ahiah's words. Listen up. Deuteronomy 32:35. To me belongs vengeance, Ahiah says, and recompense. Their foot, speaking about enemies, shall slide in due time, for the day of their calamity is at hand, and the things that shall come upon them make haste. He said to remind him what he said. I'm reminding you right now, Ahiah. I'm reminding you what you said. You said to you belongs recompense. To you belongs vengeance. The things that make our enemies collapse coming upon them hastily. I'll read it again. To me belongs vengeance, says Ahiah, and recompense. Their foot, speaking about enemies, shall slide in due time. The time is now. For the day of their calamity is at hand. It's now. And the things that shall come upon them make haste. For Ahiah shall judge for his people, and be merciful himself for his servants, when he sees that their power is gone, and that there is none shut up or left to help them. All our power gone. Brother holler at the end of his rope. At the end of his patience and rope. I'm tired of them. This is why I started praying this today. This is why it got stirred in my spirit today. It was this morning I put 2 and 2 together. I put Job 22 and Isaiah 43 together with the curse being reversed. You got to say it. That's all you had to do. That's all we ever had to do. We had to decree a thing that shall be established. We had to remind him what he said. We had to declare it. That he'll justify us. He'll call us righteous for it. Listen to what I said. And he shall say, where is their power? Speaking of enemy. The rock in whom they trusted. Ahiah gonna say, where is your God? The rock where you trusted. Which to eat the fat of your sacrifices. And drink the wine of your drink offering. Let them rise up and help you and be your protection. And listen here, enemy. Can't nobody protect you from Ahiah. Nobody. See now that even I am he, and there is no God with me. I kill, I make alive, I wound, I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. This is the one who's getting vengeance for us. This is the one who's bringing curses upon our enemies. He's describing himself right here. So Hebrews rejoice. The one who kills and makes alive. The one who wounds and then heals. The one who can do anything no one can resist is getting vengeance for us. Deuteronomy 32:40. For I lift up my hand to heaven and I say, I live forever. If I wet my glittering sword and my hand take hold on judgment, which it has, I will render vengeance to my enemies, and I will reward them that hate me. Did he not tell our father, our great, said about 40 more times, great grandfather Abraham, I'll be an enemy unto your enemies. Oh, I'll tell you what my enemies are. You know who my enemies are. Here in America, they're all those that oppose me. All those that wish I would disappear. Disappear them. All right? Bring it hastily upon them. I'm tired. I'm even tired of looking at them, to be honest with you. I'm tired of hearing about them, looking at them, thinking about them. I'm just tired of them. Bring about the day we look for them, we can't find them. Yeah. Meteorite, I don't know how you're going to do it. You got multiple ways to do it. Here's one. Deuteronomy 32:41. If I wet my glittering sword in my hand, take hold on judgment, I will render vengeance to my enemies and will reward them that hate me. I will make my arrows drunk with blood, and my sword shall devour flesh. And that with the blood of the slain and of the captives from the beginning of revenges upon the enemy. Listen, it's going to be a complete, utter destruction of them. Do you understand? There's going to be nothing left of them. Ain't going to be nobody around to bury them. The birds and the beasts of the field are going to feast on their carcasses. See, we ready. Now, ain't nobody come to save them. They don't cry out to their false God. They don't cry out to JC. He ain't going to be able to save them. He going to do the same disappearing act he did for those poor little white kids at that resort on that river in Texas. They cried out to him. It was a Christian camp. They cried out to him when the flood waters rose up. What happened? 40 of them died. And their parents at some vigil with a wooden cross gathered around and crying. If all power in heaven and earth is delivered unto him, why ain't he save them? You know they cried out to him. Why ain't he save them? We just read Ahia has the power to save and to destroy, to make alive and to kill. It's Ahia who does this. Oh, praises. Rejoice, verse 43. This is Deuteronomy 32:43. Rejoice, O you tribes, his people, for he will avenge the blood of his servants and will render vengeance to his adversaries and will be merciful unto his land and unto his people. Mercy to the sons and daughters of Jacob. Destruction, complete utter destruction to all our enemies. All praises to the Most High, Ahia, the one who is our Master, our Savior, our Redeemer, our King, our Revenger, and our power. Yada. Hiya.